So very welcome to Château d'Aiguille. You know, Château d'Aiguille is a very special area. So Aiguille is a very old history chateau, a castle. And it's not only but in Bordeaux normally a castle means only winery, but you have a real one. Well, unfortunately it's a ruin. It's good for me, where the ruin's less expensive than a big chateau. And for a small farmer than me, small poor farmer than me, that's a ruin is better. But the history is going back, what we know, in the 13th century. And in the 13th century, they're still making wine, so nothing new. So what we are doing here in Aiguille, but it's not the main town like Saint-Emilion-Pomerol, it's a little bit in the east, it's Castillion, the Côtes de Bordeaux. And here we're making wines you can age in a very good way. So now we have here the 2016 in the glass, and the 2016 is a powerful wine, have a very good acidity, but it also have charm, it have a sweetness inside. So what we want to do is exactly the conception. We are here in the chalk area, limestone. Limestone only means in the wine freshness. And freshness, higher acidity, lower pH, what we want, and this is the kingdom for the Merlot. Merlot needs the limestone. So in the left bank they have gravel and sand, they're making Cabernet Sauvignon. And we have here clay and chalk. So we make outstanding Merlots. And the Merlots, they have the freshness. If you have a plummy, full Merlot, he's becoming too fat. What we want to have is wine freshness. The freshness in this Merlot is outstanding. So we have 80% Merlot, 20% Cabernet Franc. And Cabernet Franc is quite very well also for the chalk area. And it's later and makes the wine deeper, a little bit more spicy, a little bit more mint. And also if you have mint in the mouth, you have freshness. So this is one of the wineries all my wineries are a little bit a child for me. But this is the big heart inside. So before, this area was absolutely unknown, and it's just before the doors from Saint-Emilion have the same topics of the same terroir, and but the people here were poor people, so they're planting with the rootstocks, too powerful rootstocks, and the clones was not the good ones, and we just bring the things back. Welcome back to the future. We started around 70 acres. 27 hectares, and now we are more than 300 acres here. But in the history part, the chateau have 800 acres. Wow. So we have some place before us, so we can make some more. But the winery what you saw before, the big winery, we can make about 85, 90 hectares. It means about a little bit more than 300 acres. That is okay, and after we have to become bigger. But also what is important now, that the consumer in the world is not stupid. The consumer had admitted a new brand name. Aiguille 20 years ago was completely unknown. Now the people know Aiguille, and Aiguille is not easy. Well, Aiguille is a special, while the name is difficult for a lot of people, they see the H inside, and they want to pronounce the H. It's impossible. Never pronounce it. Also the French people not pronounce it Aiguille. Aiguille means needle. And Aiguille is an old name, but I cannot change it. When I came here 20 years ago now, I cannot say now I bring a new name in like Nyberg or things like that. So we respected the history and we bring the things back. And now in the whole world, Aiguille is becoming a good name. We can do a lot more for the winery, and thank you what you are doing for our wines. Thank you very much indeed. Wines, they're exactly what the people want to have in the moment. They are powerful, they are rich, but they are also have the acidity, they have the profoundness, they are fresh. The time is finished for the overripe confiture wine. Oh, you know, we can only look back 20 years, but you know the 2000 is still rather good. If you have a 2000 Aiguille, unfortunately good. 2002, 3, 4, 5 is a very good vintage, still young. So you can age it almost for 20 years, no problem. But you can drink also after, well, what is very nice to drink now, it's not a very outstanding vintage, it's 2012. Or the 2007 We have yesterday for evening we have friends for dinner, and we drink the 2007. And a blind tasting, nobody thought that this is a 2007. Nobody find that it's aiguille. But the people don't think that these kind of terroirs can age. Well, they never saw one, but this can. You have to do it. Philip de Rothschild always told it to people that a brand name in Bordeaux is very easy. That's early in the first 200 years they're difficult. So that means we need time. And we are exporting the wine, 95–96%. And the export means that you need time to make the wine well known. And in Bordeaux we have so much classified growers that nobody needs absolutely a new winery. If you give a new winery, you need a good price and a very good quality. So what we are offering today is a very good price for this quality. And so the people like to drink it for the price. So what we are doing more is that we are growing the production, and we are not playing so much with the prices. You can't see with aiguille the yo-yo of some very well-known wines. So the price will be reasonable for the next 5–10 years, certainly. And after, the market is playing. After playing, I don't know, but sure that if the wine is becoming well-known, but if you put €1 up, that makes the change nothing in the end of the day. But this will be reasonable in the next years, this is clear, while we are pushing the wines into quantities. We have now more land. We are planting anew with our own clones. You know, own Massal selections. We have no clones at all. We have our own compost. So we are really very organic. But I think what is important in the wines today is that the wine have life inside. How you can have a wine inside when your soil have no life? So you know, first is bringing life in the soil. So the compost, the life in the compost, we bring to the soil, and then you have in the fruits you have this life, and you bring it in the wine. And so we want to drink life, and life is harmony. Life is as well. This is exactly what we want to have. And for me, aiguille is something special. Well, you know. To make a new winery in Saint-Emilion by a classified growers, you need money. That's all. But to find something very new, that's different. And to show to the market, show to the consumer that you can be successful here. That's exactly what we show. Also for here, this area, that is an old area. Then the soldiers, they take a part here in the day. They are here. What this was a garnison in French, and we renovate this part, and it is an old part of the 16th century, 15th century. We don't know exactly, and we try to make understand that the history was there, and we just bring it back. So it's a funny job, and that is for me important. While we have better people, the people know exactly when I work. With these people, they are much younger than me. They are 20. They can be my children largely, but they are. We grow together, and so we know exactly what we want, and so it's much easier. I've only to speak with 2–3 people and I know exactly what's happened. And these guys they are born in a different generation, and they understand what means life with its organic, making wines, natural wines, not so much sulfates. All these things, they are important. If you drink a bottle of wine, you are not crazy and after tomorrow. That is important. You feel you well. The terroir is the most important thing. You can do nothing more than a terroir. Yeah. And the people, they want only make a wine while they like the wine like this and this and this. They make a big mistake. I want to take the best from the terroir. And the aiguille will always be different than La Mondotte. And the Cabernet Gaffelier will be completely different, while we have much more Cabernet Franc in Cabernet Gaffelier. So we have more spice, we have more mint, we have a very different texture. Here the wines are more powerful, they are different. And I'm very happy if the people, you see all our family crosses are always the same in the bottle. But in the end, if you drink the wines, they are all very different. And this is very important to show that a winery have an identity. And the soil give to the wine a very special identity. And this is very important to know. We have to be always in the truth. In the moment when you go outside and you see the fruits, you taste the fruits. I walked 7 kilometers this morning, so I show all the different areas. You are very happy, the structure is good, the juice between the pulp and the skin is immigrate to the pulp. That is one sign of the ripeness. The seeds are brown now, and they're becoming more cracking, like a nut tasting. So all these means that we are not far away from the ripeness. But here in a lot of areas we are not ripe. We are perhaps in 1 or 2 parts, about 10 acres, we can harvest perhaps in the end of the week or the beginning of next one. But we are in the moment we are not. But that can be an outstanding vintage. But the wine is not in the cellar. The grapes are not in the cellar. So all what we can say, it's very good. And it was a hot year, but you know, we have no irrigation. In Bordeaux, like in Burgundy, you cannot irrigate vineyards. If you have fruits, you can irrigate young wines you plant in the first 2 years to fix them in the soil. But after, you can't. So we have no irrigation, and if you look outside, all is green. It was a hot sun, but also the wines need not a lot of water. Then they're growing down and they take the water where they can. And if you give them water up there, the roofs will come back higher. So what do you have to push them down. Take it, and they go to the stone. Here we have the limestone, and they take the humidity they need. So now it's important, when in this moment, we don't want to see the vines are still growing. That's finished. So all we stock in the leaves and all we stock in the branches, we push down to the fruit. And that is what we say the maturity, the phenolic maturity, the maturity of the skins. And if you have not this ripeness in the skin, you never will make outstanding wine. You make wine, it's nice to drink, but hard in the end and short. What we want to make a wine is going deep. All the people can make a powerful wine, a constructed wine, but make it profound. It's much more complex. And this is our philosophy in the winemaking. And always we make the wines, what we can do. Clos l'Oratoire is always very sexy, very round, very, but Canogaffrey has much more aristocratic, philosophic, very delicate. Aiguille is more pushy, while here we have the limestone. So the wineries are different. And I'm happy they are different. And they have to be different.